Welcome back to the MANN channel. Alright, so it's time to do an oil change on my 2019 Nautique G23 with the H6 engine. I have some oil down here, just needed 1540 weight is what it specified in the manual. And I also have a filter. This is the part number that was specified in the manual as well. And then in this box right here is an extractor that I'm going to use. In all my previous oil changes, typically I would pull the drain pigtail, the drain plug pigtail, or whatever you want to call that. I'd pull it through the drain hole on the back of the boat for draining water. But this Nautique does not have a drain hole for water on the back of the boat. And the drain hole up in midship is too far away, so I can't do that. So I went ahead and bought an extractor, and I'm going to go ahead and use that to do this oil change. Okay, so now I'm in the boat, and I've opened the engine hatch here. I've also removed the port side panel, engine divider panel right here. Right now I'm trying to find the oil filter. There is something that looks like an oil filter right back there, but I'm not sure yet if that's the oil filter or fuel filter or something like that. It definitely looks kind of like this. Looks a little taller though. This guy right here is our dipstick. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look, see if I can find anything else that looks like an oil filter, and go from there. All right, so I went ahead and removed the kind of top pretty piece off the engine here. So that's what that is. And then found the oil fill cap right there. Also down here on the starboard side, here is the oil drain pigtail, so I'll be using that to drain. And then there is my oil filter right there. So I'm going to go ahead and open that fill cap. I'll pull the dipstick a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and start using the extractor to try to drain it. And then once I feel like it's all the way drained, then I'll go ahead and remove the oil filter. See the black coming up there. I think I can do this with an air compressor. I think that's for right there. So I might try that someday. But for now, I think it's fine. Also, I didn't run the engine. If you wanted this to go a little quicker, I'm sure you could run the engine. It would make the oil less viscous and thick, and that would make it go quicker. All right, the oil level is right about here right now. So I've gone from here to here. So that's working pretty good. Okay, the line, this drain line here, or the suction line is starting to run a little bit clearer, so I know that it's really not pulling that much more out, but I'm going to keep going, try to get everything I can. Alright, now it's not pulling anything else out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to that won't matter. Oh. Stay for a sec. This bad boy back on. Alright, that's pretty much full. It got done. I went ahead and put the cap back on the pigtail and hooked it back onto its little mount there. So now it's time to replace the oil filter. Let's see. Yes, it should be. Just gonna try to do this by hand first. Yeah, it's a little too tight to do that. So, get my wrench here. And actually, I want my rag really close by, so I'll put it right here. There we go. That actually came loose fairly easily, honestly. Okay. Hopefully this doesn't make too much of a mess. All right, so I've got my oil handy here because back when I used to change oil filters like this, and I'm sure it's still the same, you want to fill it up with oil and also just rub some oil around this seal before you put it on. So I'm gonna get that handy and make sure I'm ready to use it right after I pull this thing off, because usually it's best to do it really quickly because usually there'll be a little oil dripping from it. So I'm gonna try to shove the rag under there during that time though too. So, all right. Okay, so I just filled it up with oil. I didn't fill it completely full because I didn't want it to be where if I tip it a little bit it spills. So now what you want to do is just take some of this oil right here and just dab your finger in it and just put it around this seal. Just like that, so that it's just the seal is lubricated. And then I'm just going to set this over here, and it's going to be waiting for me to grab the old one off. Oh, and there comes the oil sheet. Didn't think it was going to be that much because I just kind of tightened it back on so I can get this under there. Didn't think it was going to be quite so much oil because it should be mostly empty. So it must not have been, you know, in the case of a lot of oil drains, it doesn't really come out of the filter. So this filter is probably going to be pretty full of oil. Okay, now it's off. I'm trying not to spill it too much. It is pretty full. I'm just gonna hold it up here and try to dry my hand and try to grab it with this rag. Get it up and out of here a little better. Ooh, see, this is exactly why I didn't fill mine, the new one, completely full, is because, you know, it's kind of not exactly perfect getting it out of here, so I'm gonna have to tip this one just a bit, just for a second, and try not to get oil everywhere. So I did get some oil in a few spots, but I'll clean it up. So I need to get this in a spot where it's not gonna make a mess. Oh, jeez. Yeah. There I am, shaking every fucking thing around. Alright. Clean up a little bit of the oil. Actually, I'll clean up the oil after I'm done putting the oil on. That just makes more sense to me. Okay. Just gonna toss this down here though. Now let's pop the new one on. I shouldn't have the same spill problem because alright, got it on. And I usually just like to hand tighten. All right, I got the oil filter on. So there it is. The new one is on. I gotta say, I am missing my Raptor engine in my Malibus right now because going to the cartridge scenario rather than the remote filter like that, man, it's way easier. So I'm definitely missing the Raptor engine for that. But I got it done and it wasn't too crazy. Just a little messier than I'd like it to be. I could do it so cleanly when I did it with the Raptor engine. But I like to just hand tighten it because, you know, I've had times where I try to pull a filter off and I have to ruin the filter or almost break it to get enough grip on it to get it off. So I don't want it to be too tight for the next person that has to service it. So usually just hand tightened is pretty good. I mean, get it as tight as you can with your hand. Some people may say different, but that's how I do it. So now I just need to fill it back up with oil. All right, should only need about half of this one. One more, and that's it. Check it. Oops, shit. One more. I put in about what I think it should take. It was like 5.5 liters in the extraction, in that mid-evac extraction unit thing. And then one of these is 3.785 liters. And so I put a full one in, and then I put somewhere around 1.5, or somewhere right around half of that in here. So that should put me right around the right spot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that settle, and then I'm going to check the dipstick a little later, and then add some more if needed. So. All right, so this is about 1.5 months after I actually did the oil change, but now I'm just editing the video. But anyways, I just want to let you know, I did check the oil after it settled, and it appeared to be slightly too much, but because I didn't fill up that oil filter all the way, and because I hadn't run the engine yet, I just waited until I did that, and once I did that, it was right at the perfect zone. That's it for this video. I hope this video helped you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts on this video or ideas for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you can be notified of my future videos. I'll see you next week.